Warning, this game has topics such as essay of a child, possible kidnapping, implied child pregnancy, and other serious topics. Please watch with caution. I should mention any gameplay screenshots or anything else I use to show this game off. It does not belong to me. I'll put the links of the gameplay and the game itself in the description. If you can handle the topics mentioned, I highly suggest playing it. I'd say playing it before you watch this, because this will kind of give things away. But you do you, man. I can't really make you do anything. Today I'm talking about a game called My Eyes Deceive, created by iDev. I think it'll be on screen. And it was published on itchy.io on May 25th, 2023. It's a psychological horror game based off of a Reddit story from r/2sentence horror story by this user. Reading all my life, my parents told me not to open the basement door, but I got curious and disobeyed them. What is that glowing ball in the sky, and why does it hurt my eyes? There was a Roblox version, but it was taken down because it got way too popular, and got even more popular than the original game, and the original game got no credit, which is fair enough. If I were the creator, I'd be pretty pissed too. The game is about a young girl who lives in this small space that you later find out is a basement. She lives there because her papa keeps her there to protect her from the deadly disease going around. The world above apparently is in ruins and is filled with monsters. Every day her papa insists she takes her medicine to keep her from getting sick. But there's something strange about it all, sinister even. Every time she takes the pills, she gets tired and falls asleep. She has these nightmares, then wakes up and does it all over again. The young girl wakes up in a small room, with a bed and a dresser, with narrow hallways leading into other small rooms, like a kitchen, playroom/bathroom, and one final room into a stairway, going up and leading to a closed hatchet on the ceiling. Her first task is to take her pills and drink water. Then she heats up her food that's left on the kitchen table. Then she takes a bath. Finally, she waits for Papa, which isn't as boring because she has a tablet to keep herself occupied. After a bit, she hears a noise. It's Papa coming to speak with her. The girl sounds excited to talk to Papa, even asking him to come down with her, but he refuses and even scolds her for it. He asks if she took her pills. She did, and she says that they make her sleepy. But before she goes to bed, she begs for a story from the outside. He agrees. Papa tells a story about a terrifying monster he saw and what terror it brought him. She thanks him for protecting her. He then proceeds to give her a diary so she can write in. She writes in it before she goes to sleep. She wakes up in this small room again. It seems to have this blue tint to it. She looks down the hallway to see a tall figure walking around in the room with the staircase. She walks down the hallway when suddenly the walls and floor tear away, leaving her in this dark abyss with just the staircase lingering. The hatch at the top of the stairs is glowing red and is opened. When she goes up the stairs to interact with the hatch, the scenery seems to invert in colors. Then it ends. The creator says this dream represents her fear of leaving the basement. There's a Google Doc with a lot of info about the game. You can find it on the itchy.io page, but I will also leave a link in the description for anyone who wants to take a read. Day 2 is about the same as day 1, the same steps and talking with Papa. She talks with Papa, and she says she slept amazingly even though she had an odd dream. He asks if the girl took her pills. The girl asks if Papa ran into another monster. He says the world outside is a mess, and the monster can imitate human voices. This frightens the girl, and they make a code word. Apple. The girl doesn't know what that is. He says he'll bring her one if he can find it, but they're very scarce to find. She writes in her diary and wonders what he means by the world is a mess. You have 2 images to choose from. One looking like spikes coming from the ground, the other looking like the dark hallway. I don't believe they actually changed the outcome of anything, so you can pick either one. She then proceeds to go to sleep. The girl wakes up outside the basement, in front of the hatch on the floor. Her vision is gritty and dark and seems to have a red hue. There's a long hallway next to her. She walks down it, and then the hallway splits. She picks a side and follows the path. After a while, she sees something on the floor. It's a bunch of grapes. She wonders if it's the apple that Papa was talking about earlier. She picks it up, and when she looks forward, there's a huge monster on all fours, with skinny limbs looking down at her. Then it ends. The creator says this represents her fear of the outside world. The steps are the same as before, other than there's no food on the table. Thankfully, she has some left over in the cupboard below. Papa never shows up. She writes in her diary, wondering where he is, hoping he comes back. "I hate being alone," she wrote. She goes to sleep. She wakes up in this small room with a blue tinge to it. It grows, making a long hallway. She's trapped in a maze. She finds a room filled with staircases, the same ones that are in that room, with the hatch at the top. Going to the end of the room, there's a hole. She then proceeds to jump in. Then it ends. This dream represents her fear and loneliness of not having Papa around, as the creator says. A few days are skipped, seemingly because Papa never showed up. When the girl wakes up, she does the steps we've seen it time and time again. She also eats old food from the cupboard like she did before. Papa again doesn't show. The girl begins to shake and ask where he is. Today, she has a choice. Does she take the pills or does she not? You get to decide. It will change the outcome of the game. She goes to sleep. There are 2 possible dreams, depending on the choice of whether you continue to take the pills or not. When not taking the pills anymore, loosening her chains signifies freeing herself from her habit. When continuing to repeat, the basement illustrates things stagnating without change. This is word for word what the creator said. The same steps as yesterday, but she hears something above. She goes and checks. Papa has returned finally. The girl is excited that he's back, but has to make sure it's him. After confirming with the word apple, she returns to her excitement. He promises to never leave again and asks if she took the pills. Either way you picked, she'll say yes. Papa brings her an apple finally. She eats it and she loves it. She writes about how happy she is, then goes back to sleep. Or depending, goes back to sleep, quote unquote. She wakes up and does her tasks, then the screen goes black, with the girl asking, "Why is my belly so round and big?" Most likely hinting that during the night, Papa would come in and grape her, and she would have been old enough to become pregnant. The game ends with the player having a sick feeling in their stomach, looking through every aspect of the game, every word, every dream, and realizes it all comes together in some sick and twisted way. The girl pretends to sleep and hears Papa enter the basement and get near her. While readying to grape her, an unsuspected visitor rings the doorbell upstairs. Papa goes to answer, leaving the hatch open. The girl exits the basement and makes it outside, looking at the sun and wondering what it is, then goes to find help. The player then learns the pills were sedatives, and the reason Papa was gone was because it was a spontaneous police inspection. The creator said it was their first time making this kind of game. I believe it's very well done. It's very dark and twisted, but wonderful gaming experience overall. Good gameplay, but super heavy topics, which that is what the intention was. But damn, was it rough. I hope they make more fantastic games like this in the future. Now, I think this game shows the naivety of children, how easily they can be manipulated, that a trusted adult could be a monster in disguise. I'm not sure if this is what the creator intended the message to be, but this is what I took away from it all. But overall, great game. Check it out. Link in the description. If you can donate, do it. You can't, don't worry about it. Can't wait to see more from this creator. This is my first time kind of doing this kind of thing, you know? If you look at my old videos, not old, but my other videos, you'll see it's, you know, gaming content. But let me know if you like this kind of content. First time trying it, so let me know.